Good afternoon. I greet you this afternoon with the universal greetings of respect and welcome you to this mindful moment that's filled with opportunities, possibilities, miracles, and I add to that, and choices. You could have shared this time anywhere else, but you chose to share it here, and I thank you so much for doing that. How did you do last week? We had a pre-recorded session where we talked about the experiences of Dumbo and the uniqueness of being your own person, the challenges that comes with that, and the benefits of that. So I thank those of you who shared your comments. Thank you for those who shared this video with some other places and other people who maybe could benefit from that same message. So we always begin our time with relaxing for just a moment, taking the time for ourselves to just spend a moment together. So we've done box breathing in the past, and we've done some mindfulness in the past, but today what I'd like to do is just give you a tool to put in your toolbox. You maybe can't do it fully right now, but hopefully you'll be able to have it available if you need it later. And that's just to be as present as you can by activating as many of your senses in this moment as possible. So relax and just concentrate on your breathing, your inhale and your exhale. Be present in that moment. Just concentrate on your sense of touch. Like ordinarily you wouldn't be conscious of the way your back feels against the chair or couch that you're sitting on, or the way your feet feel on the floor. Be conscious of your senses. Awaken them for just this moment. Be sensitive to the sounds that you hear around you. Be sensitive to all the things that you see in your environment. Try to look, try to hear, try to smell, try to touch without judgment. And see if that helps you to be able to relax a little bit more through the moment. As I get older, I've noticed that sometimes, and some of my friends may agree, that I don't sleep like I used to. And sometimes I may wake up at an uncommon hour and have difficulty going back to sleep. But I found that if I can alert my senses, be as present as I can, and allow myself to listen for sounds, not unusual sounds hopefully, but just the sounds of nature, the sounds that we will ordinarily ignore, and be present, then I'm able to relax just a little bit more and enjoy the beauty of that moment. So if you can't use it right now, keep it in your toolbox. At least you'll be something that you can have available to use for later on at another time. That's your tool, that's your tip for relaxing. So now, our mindful moment was inspired by a story that has been told for many centuries in a variety of different ways. But the concept is basically the same. Now, this is a story of two monks that were walking through the forest many years ago, an older one and a younger one. And they had made a vow that they wouldn't speak or touch another woman as they walked this walk through the forest. So at a certain point they come to a river, and the river's kind of choppy, and there is a young lady that's standing nearby. She's attempting to cross. She has on like a silk robe gown, and every time she tries to cross, she gets wet and muddy every time this happens. So the older monk goes over, picks her up, carries her across this choppy river stream, sets her down on the other side, and then comes back and continues his walk with the other monk. An hour goes by, 2 hours go by, 3 hours, 5.5 hours go by. And the other younger monk just couldn't take it any longer. He said, "What are you doing? We're in a vow. We're not even supposed to look at another woman. You're going to pick her up and carry her across to the other side. We don't do that. Why did you do that?" Here's what the older monk said. He said, I put her down 5.5 hours ago. Have you been carrying her all this time? Huh? You see, the moral of the story is multifaceted. We'll only deal with a couple of aspects of that. The point is that some of us are carrying things that we should have put down a long time ago. Some of us are carrying things that's not even ours to carry, and wonder why we feel so weighted down. We're carrying somebody else's weight. Not that we can't help them with their burden, but we're carrying the weight of somebody else, and they're not even carrying their own. That's one part of that. The other part of this moral is that some of us are carrying some resentments, some disappointments, some hatreds, some baby daddy issues, some baby mama issues, some unresolved parent issues. We're carrying some of these things, and they're so weighed down that we can't even enjoy the beauty of right now because of the weight of the things that we're carrying, old beliefs and ideas from a long time ago. And here's the thing about it. It's not as much what happened 5 years, 10 years ago, because I know some people that are still mad about stuff that happened back in the 70s, right? And it's 2017, but it's about what we did today when we thought about it and rejudged and repunished that person all over again every time it comes up. Are we carrying some things that we need to set down that maybe we should have set down a long time ago? People, places, and things. Are we carrying some people that we shouldn't be carrying at all? Trying to pull and carry somebody, excuse me, to bring them maybe to a different level of consciousness, right? We want them to see things as we see it because we believe if they did that, that life would be so much better for them. And we're pulling, and we can't even get to where we're going because we're trying to get somebody else to where they need to be. Are we carrying places that we should have put down a long time ago? Going to places, whether that's a job or anywhere, that you know is no longer enriching. It's no longer fulfilling. It's no longer satisfying you the way maybe even it used to, but more importantly, the way it needs to today. And you still going to those same places because it's like an old friend. And you have trouble letting go things that you should have let go. What about doing things that you should have stopped doing a long time ago? Because it's not healthy for you, it's not good for you, but you're still doing these things because it's comfortable and it's easier to do this than to let it go. Things that you may have done back when you were in your 20s that was cute and cool and fun to do at that time. But now at this point, somewhere in your 30s, your 40s, 50s, and even 60s, doing some of the same things you did in your 20s. And you're wondering why you're spinning your wheels. You're not making progress. You're not getting the traction you need to go where it is that you need and are trying to go. Is it possible you need to put down people, places, and things that are weighing you down to where you can't move forward and accomplish what it is that you need to do? So, I encourage you to look for opportunities to pass this video on to somebody else who might need to hear that, who might be weighed down. Even if you don't pass the video, if you just pass the message, because it's possible this may not be for you today, but I guarantee you that there's somebody in your circle of influence that's weighed down right now because they're carrying stuff that they need to put down a long time ago. And it's usually people on the outside who see that first. Consider the opportunity that you can create for passing that message on, because they can't hear it the way I say it, but the way you say it, the story that you connect with this, might be exactly what they need to hear to make the change that they need to make so they can go forward in their life. I encourage you to consider the possibility of what will happen if you lightened your load, lifted your head, and lived your life with passion and purpose, and did it without apology. Consider the possibility of what your life would be like if you did that. Lastly, I encourage you and invite you to expect and experience the miracles that will expand in your life as you become more mindful in your moments and enjoy your journey. It's my hope that you found at least a nugget that you could hold on to. Pass that nugget on and find a way to practice it somehow during this day, during this week. Leave your comments. Leave your comments of how you've let things go and how that empowered you, or the story of someone else, because that story just might help somebody else. So with that being said, I hope and wish until the next time that we meet that you do travel well. Thank you for joining us in this community for this mindful moment. Until next time, respect.